I enjoyed this chapter for what it was, and that was the focus on the relationship between Toriko and Komatsu, and I really like how it's developing.
Toriko, gourmet number 103. Partners! Hey!
Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and appetizing, and after this one, make you want to go out and eat your veggies, tale of Toriko. Now, our last chapter, of course, saw us with Toriko pretty much getting his clock cleaned, or his ass handed to him by the president of Aigo, Ishiru. And really we wound up kind of that segued into, and the chapter ended off with him being kind of put on the path, asked directly by the president of Aigo to go and fetch this ozone grass. And that's rumored to be 10,000 meters above the planet and all this other stuff, so we don't get much information on it other than that. That is how the chapter ends off. The chapter actually picks up in Gourmet Town, in the Gourmet Towers, way up on the 273rd floor. And if you remember the Gourmet Towers, Toriko, back when they were in Gourmet Town, explained that some of the best restaurants in the world are there, right? And here in the real world, I think restaurants can only get 5 stars, I believe, is the most that you can get as a five-star restaurant. And what I like about this is Toriko just blows everything up. They just takes everything to the next level, right? And so in Toriko, I think the restaurant stars can go up to like 10, if I remember correctly. But anyway, they're eating Komatsu and Toriko on the 273rd floor at this, and there's these rooms that jut out from these different places that are like private rooms that are like glass. It's like a glass encased room. It's kind of just hanging out there, off the end of the building. 273rd floor, and they're at this barbecue joint that's a 7-star restaurant, right? And I'm thinking, oh boy, this is gonna be good, right? So Toriko's over here barbecuing, grilling some stuff up or whatever, and Komatsu's tasting it's good. And what this does is it sets the table for, and I mean that metaphorically as well as, what it sets the table for, though, is really him asking Komatsu to come along with him to get this ozone grass. Because this place, even though it's a barbecue joint, it's actually not known for its meat, it's known for its vegetables. So he goes and he's like, here, take this lettuce and wrap it in, wrap it in that rib meat that you had, and he's, oh man, and Komatsu's like, oh, and what I love about this is it's like watching a show on the Food Network, right? My wife and I both do quite a bit of cooking, and you see these different programs and shows and whatnot, and they're always talking and using these different words like the succulent taste and the crunch and the sweet and the salty, the sweet and then the heat comes afterwards, the smorgasbord of flavors, all these different things. And so it's kind of cool because you see some of that culinary language in Toriko, and for me it's really, really cool, just because of the fact that, like I said, like my wife's she's more like chef level, she's more like at the point where she could probably open her own joint, I'm more, everything I make tastes very, very good, I'm just not as good at the presentation end of things, so I'll cook you some stuff, but it may not look exactly like it does in, on the Food Network or the cooking channel or whatever, or in the magazine or in the picture, but it tastes damn good. Anyway, enough about me and my cooking and my wife and her cooking. Just letting everybody know, because as I read these chapters, I get fucking hungry sometimes. But, he lays out all this stuff about vegetables and, tries this bacon leaf, which I really like because I'm a big fan of bacon. I mean, who's not? But I'm especially a big fan of bacon. I really, really like my bacon. But, this bacon leaf, and he's talking about, oh, and if you grill it, it's even better. And then basically what winds up happening is a few hours later, Komatsu is completely stuffed, and he's stuffed from vegetables. And even he says, he's like, who would have ever thought I'd come to a barbecue joint, right? In the Gourmet Towers, and I wind up, the meat's not the main thing, meat's not the thing I'm going to talk to people about, it's the vegetables that I came here for. I also thought it was kind of neat, and what I really like about just how everything is created and set up in here is obviously just the great in-depth explanations. The way the floors are here in the systems work, the restaurants on the floor above 200, it's like by invitation only type of thing, and then above 300, it's like a members only, and he says you can only get to them by plane. So I don't know if people got a parachute in or what, but whatever the deal is, this is very, very exclusive type of stuff, And Toriko's like, yeah, I'll take you up there on the 300 sometime. And Komatsu's like, no, I'm cool. I'm cool like this. Because Komatsu, remember, he's cool. He just created a century soup and everything. But Komatsu is humble. That's what I like about him. He's humble. I didn't like him so much at first when he was just kind of a whiny, I don't have any self-confidence. Now, he's just humble. He got some self-confidence, and we've seen him pull through in some big times when we needed him, right? But he's still very humble, and I like that. I like that about Komatsu, you know. He's like, oh, no, it's cool. I never even... You know, he's one of those guys that even though now his shit don't stink, you know, to the rest of the world because of him being this chef and because of him creating the century soup. But again, he still is an approachable guy that's just like, just happy to be hanging out with a buddy, you know. So anyway, Toriko asks him if he'll come on this adventure with him to get this ozone grass, you know. And apparently it's in, you know, this vegetable land, and there's... Well, we'll get to all that stuff in just a second. But anyway, the next portion of it, I guess the second half of the chapter, is they're actually in the Igo supplied him with a jet, right? And then so they're in the jet, and he's talking about, you know, and Komatsu's like, wow, the president of Igo must have really asked you about getting this, you know? And Toriko's like, why? You think I would lie? You know? And he's like, actually, he said you should come along too. And Komatsu's like, me? What are you talking about? Like, how would he even know about me, right? And Toriko goes and has a little flashback when he's sitting there chilling with the old man, with Ishiru. And it's funny because he's got this bridge of his nose where he got punched. He's got like a patch over his nose, a bandage, because he got socked by the old man, you know. And they're sitting there, and he explains to me, he says, Toriko, you know, you can get all the ingredients in the world. You can be the best, you know, gourmet hunter and this and that, but it doesn't make a damn lick of difference if you can't prepare it, right? So having like a partner, somebody who can prepare all these wonderful things that you have, somebody like Komatsu, of course, is really it's a wonderful thing to have, you know. And it's kind of cool because even though it was like a partner in crime, so to speak, for this, and I don't think there was anything like sexual going towards like a partner in life, you know, anything like that. I think he was just talking about it's nice to have somebody around, like a friend, a cohort, a partner, you know, a partner in crime, if you will. You know, somebody that you can share in some of these experiences with, and can obviously go and take things to the next level. You know, game changer type of guy like Komatsu is, to be able to create things, to be able to prepare things, to cook things, to have that talent within. So very, very cool stuff. Anyway, the jet winds up getting, right as Toriko is about to ask Komatsu if he'll be like his permanent partner, like go on all his, you know, his adventures with him and shit, right? And he's just about to say, would you be my part? And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, excuse me, Toriko, we've got a problem. There's a creature on the jet. There's some monster, you know, on the jet. And it's this huge, like, flying sea lion, right? Which looks really goofy, but it was one of those, like, was one of those things that was submitted, the idea, I guess, or maybe a sketch of it was submitted by a reader. So I think that's cool that he's still putting those in there. But anyway, and a lot of times they're really unique. But so Toriko goes and tells him, you know, fire this capture net, and then while he's struggling, take off, blah, blah, blah. Komatsu then is like, well, what were you going to ask me? He's like, no, nothing. I was just going to nothing. And Komatsu's like, no, it's going to really bug me. What were you going to ask me? You know, and Toriko's like, no, I was just going to tell you, you know, I'll look out for you, try to keep you safe on this one. And so it's like Toriko thought back on it. Anyway, the end of the chapter is really cool, though, because they actually wind up going and showing up, well, pulling up, I guess you would say, to this this area here, right? And here, when they wind up getting there, I just thought it was really neat looking. He says, it's one of the vines of the sky plant, also known as the stairway to heaven, right? And it's just hanging there. I'm thinking that this is like some huge beanstalk coming up out of the ground. This is it's a plant that looks like it's just hanging there, right? So then they go and they show it, and he's like, we can climb this? And he's like, to reach the ozone grass, or so I was told. Let's get climbing, Komatsu. And I love Komatsu. He's like, what we're going to do with our hands and feet? Just climb up with our bare hands and feet? Now remember, this thing's said to be 10,000 meters above, and 10,000 meters is a lot. That's like, I don't know what, like 30-something thousand feet. So you're looking at like, I don't know, 6 miles above the Earth. I think that's probably higher than the tallest peak, I think, right now that I know of on Earth. I think 24th. Anyway, whatever. Doesn't matter because it's this fictional world, but it's very, very cool, and they're going really high up. The air is going to be very thin up there, and certainly very neat to see this. So, but I kind of liked, you know, I really just like the bonding and the camaraderie, like the big brother, little brother kind of bond that Komatsu and Toriko, you know, have, and that they share. And that leads into my chapter question. I mean, certainly it's cool that we're going after the ozone grass, and that we now have this other, you know, this other task to go for, this other item to go get, right? A gourmet food, if you will. But my question for you, brothers and sisters, is what are your thoughts on the building and developing relationship between Komatsu and Toriko? For me, I personally think it's one of my favorite aspects of the series. It really is. And there's times that I enjoy Komatsu as a character more than Toriko. Because Toriko, for me, is he's a decent character, I guess a well-rounded character. But it's the supporting cast that I've enjoyed so much. It really is. You know, in the Century Soup arc and whatnot, you know, just a lot of, really in any arc when you think about it, I like a lot of those kind of background characters. And Komatsu, of course, is the one that's, you know, that's been seen probably more than any of the other ones, you know. So definitely very, very cool stuff. So want to know what your thoughts are, though? Let me know in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We look forward to catching all of you in the next one, Nation. Thank you for watching. Now go get a snack and then come subscribe to my other channels.